Is Facebook actually inflating your traffic and sending bot traffic to your website? You might be seeing weird stats in your Shopify dashboard or backend analytics that say that there's random traffic coming to your website that only seems to be coming from Facebook ads. Well, I want to unveil the curtain to that today and share with you whether or not that is true, and if so, where that traffic could actually be coming from, and making sure that you spend your money more effectively with your Facebook ads. If you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am, and my name is Justin Lalonde, and I'm the founder at paidadvertising.com, where on the one hand, we help businesses implement a scalable ad engine, and on the other, we grow e-com and info businesses to multi-seven figures with paid ads. With that being said, we've profitably managed and advised on over $15 million in ad spend in the last 12 months. And that said, let's get straight into today's video. So first of all, what are some of the signs that you might be seeing on your website that could indicate that you're getting bot traffic sent out by Facebook? Well, first of all, it might be high clicks and low engagement. So what I mean by that is you're getting a lot of click volume, perhaps a very low cost per click or very high click-through rate on your ads, but a super low conversion rate, or you might be seeing a sudden drop in conversion rate on your Shopify website or just specifically from your Facebook ads. So if that happens, that might be an early warning sign that you're getting more and more bot traffic sent to your website. Now, a second sign would be a spike in traffic from unusual locations. So going into your Shopify analytics or Google Analytics dashboard, you might be seeing traffic come in from countries, as an example, from Africa or Asia, countries in which you're not actively running ads to, but there just seems to be a surge of traffic coming from those. Now, a third sign of that is also super short session durations on your website or high bounce rate, which that you'll mainly see from Google Analytics, but this is something essentially that could indicate bot traffic. So if you have a sudden drop in session duration where people stick for only, let's say, 3 seconds on your website, well, again, that's pretty unusual, right? The average person should at least browse for a couple seconds, now close to a minute, even in some cases, if there is any interest in what you have to sell. Or if your bounce rate is like way north of 50%, which pretty much everybody who comes on your website only visits the first page and doesn't take any other action, right? That again could indicate that you have more and more bot traffic. Now, let me get into why this is happening as a second part to this video, right? Is Meta just doing that to waste your money? Are they doing that to inflate your numbers? Well, this traffic could actually come from 3 places. So the first one is actual Meta testing bots, meaning whenever you launch an ad, Meta is usually going to send scraping bots to your website. So what I mean by that is they'll use automated bots to review your website content, make sure it's compliant with terms of services. And some of these bots actually come from different countries, right? They don't necessarily come from the country in which you are originally from or the ones in which you are currently advertising. And so it might look like fake clicks or fake traffic on your website. And that'll typically happens if you're undergoing an audit process from Facebook, or you might have recently had a wave of ads that have been rejected by the platform, or even in some cases, it might be pretty random. So that being said, Meta does indeed send bot traffic from time to time themselves to scrape the site and make sure you're compliant. So that it could be one of the causes of that happening. Now, the second cause of that is scraping bots or simply scammers. There's a lot of third-party bots that do scrape Facebook ads, and more specifically Facebook ad libraries, to extract information from some of the live active ads. Now, you might have used an ad spy tool in the past, right? Which some of those that people know about is, as an example, Ad Spy, there's Big Spy, there's Power Ad Spy, Similar Web even could be considered like a spying tool. And more notably nowadays, if people are browsing the ad library on Facebook and they end up saving your ads on platforms like Atria or Foreplay or any of these other ad library tools, right, where people can save ads to, a lot of them nowadays, they also save a screenshot of the landing page to which you're sending traffic to. So if anybody might be looking into the ad library, either through a spying tool or manually looking through the library and using something like Atria or Foreplay to save your ads to their library, it might also inflate this traffic, because these softwares will use a bot, right? There's not going to be a physical human every time who's going to click on your site, browse the landing page and take a screenshot of it. No, this is done automatically. So that too could actually inflate the quote unquote bot traffic sent to your website. So either if you're pulling up a lot in searches from spying tools, or if people happen to spy through your ad library, this might be a cause of quote unquote bot traffic sent to your website. Now, there's also a third and a fourth cause to that. Then they're honestly a little less likely, but the third one would be just a plain old bug from Facebook, right? Either an automated review that kind of went wrong and just spiked your traffic, right? Because for whatever reason, their bots, lacked out and they have to send more to your website, which again, unlikely, but still nonetheless possible. I'll get into fixes for all of that in a second. And the fourth cause, which again, going from less and less likely here, but this could happen, especially if you're a big brand in a specific industry, would actually be click fraud or ad fraud networks, which you can, as a competitor of someone in the space, buy, click farms or proxy traffic essentially, and actually purposely pay to send fake traffic to someone's website. Now, you might be saying, Justin, why would someone want to do that? This is messed up, right? Well, it's malicious or black hat business practices. People can still do that. And what that inherently does is, one, it messes up your stats. So it's now hard for you to analyze your data. And so it just adds, again, friction to your business process. Number two, it'll also mess up the data of your pixel, right? Because if there's a lot of traffic sent to your website, which seems to be sent from, Facebook ads and whatnot, your pixel might start learning from the wrong data. And so this is something that, again, competitors could maliciously do to mess up someone's website. That typically will only happen in a very competitive space, or if you're, one of the top dogs in your space. Again, this is not super common, I would say, for the average Joe. Now, the question is, what can you do if ever you believe that you are getting bot traffic from Meta? Now, funny story, I'm making this video because this actually happened to one of our potential clients. So I was on a discovery call for a client. I was referred to us. They're making about $500,000, so about $500K a month, give or take, with their business. And I was looking through their ads manager. They had never targeted some countries essentially in Eastern Europe and Africa, but they were getting a surge in traffic on their Shopify site from there. And when we looked at it, this traffic, the original source was actually a referral source from Facebook. So then we started looking into the organic data from Facebook, Instagram, so on and so forth. Nothing can seem to point that, the only place that people were actively coming in masses to the website from would have been Facebook ads. And so all we did was we now went through the current Facebook ads, and even though we weren't targeting Eastern Europe nor Africa, we excluded those regions from the targeting. And whenever we did that, the traffic stopped. And it was a full stop, meaning for 3 days prior to us actually putting in the exclusion, there was a surge in that traffic. As soon as we put the exclusion, that traffic stopped completely. And so that being said, if ever you go into your Shopify analytics and you realize that there's like weird traffic coming from another, country that you are not targeting, well, you might just want to exclude that. And again, the worst part about that is whenever we went to our campaigns on Facebook and we went to the breakdown tab and we went breakdown by country or region, no traffic or no ad spend was shown to these countries. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that Facebook is not perhaps either spending or wrongfully showing ads in said country. So I'd say one would be exclusions, which is a way to fix this problem. Now, this obviously goes without saying, like make sure you're optimizing your campaigns for conversions like purchases and not clicks or traffic or engagement or any of that. I've seen these problems also happen a lot when people advertise for higher funnel metrics, which again, it's like somebody's a page viewer or whatever. They're not necessarily going to be a customer, and that's what you want most of the time anyways. And so if you optimize for a purchase and there's random traffic coming from other countries and these people end up not converting, then Facebook's not going to keep on optimizing for said traffic. Now, the one thing I'll say is that whenever you reach out to Meta support and you believe there's bot traffic, they'll typically deny that. They'll typically say like, no, this doesn't happen. But all accounts I've seen this happen to, they typically get an ad credit. So before billing you, Meta's typically going to do an audit of all the clicks that happen on the site and actually audit to see whether those clicks were real or not. And sometimes you might notice a small credit in your ad account, like an 11 cents credit or a $2 credit, or I've seen, $10, $100 credit. So they'll often credit back any of these impressions. Now, although you are going to get this money back because it's not really impressions or clicks that you actively wanted to pay for, it still sucks from an analysis perspective to look at an inflated click-through rate and a lower conversion rate. So if you are using something like GA4, Google Analytics, right, to analyze your website and its conversions, now granted that you set it up properly and you've had a developer make sure that the integration works with your Facebook's conversion API and so on and so forth, right? If you had somebody do that and you can trust your GA4 data, then I would just set up filtered exclusions to make sure that you actually only see kind of quote unquote true traffic from it. Triple Well can also help you with that nowadays. So if you have their latest plans and you use Mobi, you can actually ask it to give you a report of like traffic by sources and only sales by, specific sources. So that too can kind of help you filter out some of that. So either GA4, which would be I was going to say a free option, but honestly, you got to be pretty tech savvy to set it up right. So I'm going to say a free option with an asterisk, if you're tech savvy. If not, you'll probably need a dev to help you set it up, but it's a one-time setup thing. And then Triple Well, which would be a slightly more expensive option, but that can help you with their Mobi feature nowadays, which it's kind of like a chat GPT that helps you analyze your data. Now, I say that Shopify also has their side cart assistant now, which you can also ask questions to their AI that has access to your backend analytics, which can also help you with sales per sessions and so on and so forth. So you kind of have three ways in which you can help, get some backend reporting that can clean this up. Now, granted, Shopify is only going to send you or show you part of that data because it doesn't see what's happening on Facebook. Hence why I started by saying TripWell or GA4, which would be able to see a little more clearly the outside data and not just, Shopify backend data. And going back to this video's question, is Facebook actually sending bots to your website? Yes and no. It depends. It could be sending bots. I mean, yes, they are in the sense they're scraping bots to see if you're policy compliant. Now, are they purposely sending a lot of bots? Well, typically no. This could nonetheless happen, although they deny it most of the time. Now, could it be coming straight from them, an error on the platform side? I believe so, because I've seen it work through exclusions, which definitely means this traffic is coming from Facebook. And if it's coming from a third party, either with malicious intent or perhaps a simple scraping tool, where that typically wouldn't be in that much of a high volume to fully impact you. Although exclusions in your targeting and or exclusions in your filtering process when it comes to reporting on something like TripWell, Shopify, or GA4 are pretty much the only ways in which you can see through this data. So if you made it all the way through this video and you are an e-com or info product business wanting to work with a paid ads partner on Meta, Google, or TikTok, check out the first link in the description down below to book in a call with myself and the team at paidadvertising.com today. Now, with that said, if you want to work one-on-one with me to have me review your paid ads, funnels, offer, products, name it, check out a second link down below to join our Ad Engine one-on-one consulting program. On that note, I'd invite you to check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce and info marketing tips, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.